Hi, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. So, how are you today? We're going to talk to your son, Johnny, and I like to explain to my first timers kind of how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know, a little, sometimes taste and smell them things. So I'm got most of the senses. This is not an exact science. Sometimes they'll show me pictures. They talk to me, but sometimes they show pictures, and I call it spiritual charades, and I have to try to describe what I feel or see or know about the picture. They never waste a message. Whatever they show or say, there's a reason for it. So if it doesn't make sense to you now, don't throw the whole reading out if something doesn't make sense. You'll either remember it later, or lately there's been a lot of other family members validate something that you don't quite understand, something they know about. It's like they're stretching their fingers out and getting to other members of the family through one person's reading, which is interesting because it's kind of new for me. Or it'll happen later. So just anything you don't understand, keep it in mind. I don't get names correctly, exact. So if I say John, it'll be a male with a J or a J-O name. So sometimes you gotta stretch it outside the box a little bit, but I won't shove it to make it fit. I just give out whatever they say because they know best. It's their show. They know what we need to hear, maybe not exactly what we want to hear. So let's see what Johnny's got to say. He's talking about the picture that was sent to me of him. He says, we have hair just alike. We have hair just alike. He likes my spiky hair. It's not quite as spiked as usual, but sometimes it's a lot worse. He says, "Oh, Mom." And he's getting real solemn. He says, "I saw what you went through after I left." And he says, "And I still feel your pain. I know that you're hurting." He says he would like to take some of that pain away from you. There's a smell of smoke. So when you can be walking through your house, you can be walking through Walmart, you can be driving in your car, you can be anywhere, and you'll get a whiff of smoke. And it's more like, I'd say it's cigarette type smoke. So when you get that out of the blue, and I always tell everybody, there for a week or two, I woke up every single morning and smelled chocolate chip cookies. I don't know why, I don't know who it was, but it was somebody trying to give me a sign. But I never connected it. So anyway, when you smell a little wisp of smoke out of nowhere where there's no smoke, that's him trying to say, "Hey, I'm here," trying to get your attention. He says he has used butterflies, and he has used white ones. Mine are white butterflies, which are a little harder to find usually. So he's shown me a white butterfly like I get. That's going to be another sign from him. You'll see white butterflies. Like when I was getting them real strong for signs, I'd walk out my front door and there'd be a whole mess of them out there, and they would all be white, like around one of my bushes, or 10 times I went to the cemetery and 10 times a white butterfly came up, circled around me, and then it would leave. Or I might see it, you might see it on Facebook, you might see it on a billboard, a bumper sticker, anything like that. White butterfly. I had one come up to me at a cemetery during a funeral, a monarch, monarch came around, circled me. I said, that's not good enough, it's not white. So this isn't a sign from you, and I will swear on my life that 2 minutes later, a white one came up, circled my legs, and left. It is that easy. And once you start acknowledging these signs and seeing these signs from him, you'll see tons more that you just didn't realize were signs. There's little bitty things that they try to do throughout the day. Well, maybe not every single day, but that you'll think are just normal stuff, but it'll actually be them trying to get your attention. Any repetitive little weird thing over and over and over and over and over. If you've seen a white butterfly over and over and over and over and over, like it took me that long. Anyway, let's talk about something besides butterfly. He's showing me a very small child, but he went from infant to being, I don't know how old, small toddler type. I feel like he wants to get taller, older. So by him showing the different ages, there's a very small child, or at least was, well, we all were at one time, that he's watching grow up, that he's with this child as it's growing up and changing ages, and he will continually be there. Let me see what he's going to show with this child. Okay, this child, as an infant, I'm trying to see if maybe 5 months old. I saw the number 5. Anyway, lay on its back, kicking its arms and legs, and cooing and playing with him. He's actually leaning over. He was leaning over the baby, talking to it, and it would get real excited. So if you've ever watched this baby, whose ever baby it is or was, and it just laid there and looked like it was interacting with somebody, you think they're just looking off into space. Very small children can see them, and animals can see them. So this baby was actually interacting with him, knows that Johnny is there. And it's like there was this big glow of light between them. Like a lot of energy, a lot of really bright, beautiful energy between them, which I've never seen. I've seen them interact with like that before, but not this big glow of light. So there's a very strong, beautiful connection with him and this child. And this child acknowledges him. So if this child is still small enough, watch the child and see if it's looking over in the corner. And it will go on for a few years until they get, I don't know what age they start shutting down. 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, somewhere in there, when they start realizing the world might call them crazy if they go, I can see this guy. And then we kind of start shutting down. He used to sit in the room and rock where this baby slept. Either used to or still does. He's rocking. And he's singing the song, "Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird." And he's going on with the song. He's talking about this child being a very bright, shining light in people's lives, more so than just being a child. Like there's going to be something special about this child. And not like family members, we all think our kids are special. This, something different. It's going to be something different. Something different that a lot of other people are going to see in this child. He's talking about Cheetos, Cheetos, Fruit Loops, bananas, oranges. Now he's talking about those were his favorite foods. So some of those could have been his favorite food, like when he was little. Could have been his favorite food when he was older. I don't know for sure what ages, but did he like to take his Fruit Loops and put them on the top of a pencil? Put them on there. And then eat them off of that. He says, "I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom." And he's showing that he lays, you'll be sitting there, and you, especially when you're real sad, and he lays his head up against the side of your head. Which side? This is my right side. I know some of these videos look backwards on different things. So it won't feel like if I was to lay my head up against your head. You'll feel just a little bit of maybe movement, maybe pressure. I know when they get real close to me on one side, and it'll only be on one side at a time, that this side will probably get very hot, or it'll feel, or the energy will be tingly like prickly or goosebumps, or when they get close to me over here, it feels like head lice. It feels like head lice crawling. So when my Bob gets real close, he always comes in on this side. My ear will actually turn red, and it will feel like it's going to burn and fall off. I mean, it gets so hot. It's their energy. So I don't know how his energy is going to affect your energy, but you'll know when it happens. He has heard you yelling at him, "How could you do this to me? How could you leave me? How could you do this to me? Why did you leave me? How could you do this to me?" He feels your pain. He says he didn't do it on purpose. He says there's a song from, oh good God, how long ago? back when I was younger. And it was called Roll Me Over in the Clover and Do It Again. Don't remember who sang that. Something about this song. Might be the words in the song. Might be something about a clover field. He's trying to sing it. He says, rock on. Party like there's no tomorrow. He said all of his friends liked you. Did all of his friends, or at least some of them, call you Mom? There's one that you still talk to, or still checks in on you, or still sends you a message once in a while, or something, and he's acknowledging that person, and he's thanking them. He's changing the picture or something. I'm waiting to see what he's doing. He said there'll be the smell of his cologne or hair product or something, a certain smell that he had, like after he took a shower and got ready to go out, that you have either smelled or you excuse me. It's choking me. I think the smell's choking me. That you're going to smell, that you either have smelled or you're going to smell. And it's the same thing as the smoke. You can be anywhere at all. When you smell that, that's him giving you a sign that he's around. And acknowledge it. Did he have something wrong with his throat, or maybe you have something wrong with your throat? Because all of a sudden I'm choking. Like really bad. So anyway, when you get these signs, acknowledge him. Say, I know you're here. I love you. Please bring me more. Once you acknowledge him, you'll get all kinds of signs. There's also something about your bathroom. Your bathroom, it's like you still hear him in there taking a shower and getting ready to go out. Or he's showing me a towel keeps falling on the floor. The towel keeps falling on the floor. And you go in and hang it up and it falls on the floor. There's another sign for you that he's around. He's trying not to scare you. He says Christmas time is still awesome. It's still a great time of year. Don't let what happened to me take away from your Christmas. He wants you to make it even more special than it was. He says, I am waiting for you. I will be waiting for you. Don't leave before it's time. I will be here to wait for you. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here when it's your time. Take your time. And wait, he's being a little slow on switching things. He's trying to show me somebody, but they're not coming in clear yet. I can't see him. You got to get it more clear. He's not. I'm only seeing the back side of this person. I can't even tell how old they are. He's trying to show me somebody that was there when he passed. It's a male. If they actually helped him find his way where he needed to go, they actually kind of picked him up and carried him, helped him along. The guy's, he's not skinny, but he's slim. For some reason, I'm only getting the backside. He's got short hair, dark hair. I can't tell how old. He's not elderly. He's not real young. He's got like the back side of him's got what looks like a, I'm just going to say a UPS uniform. It's that kind of a brown shirt, brown pants. Looks from the back, looks like a uniform. But I don't see, it's not a cop uniform. They're usually blue or something. And it's not, I don't see any badges or anything. I can't, it's not a police or fireman type uniform. I want to say it's one of his buddies that had already passed that was actually there to greet him and help him. You might have to think back on that one. And there's also somebody else there helping, but I can't see them at all. I can just, because this guy, his back is blocking it. I don't know why they're showing it this way. There's always a reason. I totally trust them. It's their show. There's always a reason. Squeaking. Squeaking. There's something squeaking in your house. Well, then he says car. House or car or both. He said house again. So, I think you're going to hear the squeaking in both places. It's just a I can't make the same noise. It's a squeaking noise. And you're going to hear that every so often. And he's trying to gently, without scaring you, let you know that he's around. And if you hear this in your car as you're going down the road, it's almost like when you sit down on something and it squeaks. That kind of noise. If you're driving down the road and you hear this, immediately listen to what's on the radio or look at what the song title is or who's singing that, sometimes the song artist. But listen immediately to the verse that is the next line that's being sung. And you might even look at the clock. A lot of times when you're in a vehicle and you get one of their signs, there'll be something else to go along with it, or a vehicle like his could be driving by. There will be another acknowledgement, kind of a double whammy. He says he feels like the loss of him has been detrimental to your health. And he wants you to start eating healthier. He wants you to pick yourself back up. He wants you to know that he's still there. He wants you to know that he can hear you. He can hear you all the time. He wants to help you get back on your feet. He says, do not give up. Do not give up because I'm gone. I would not want that. Okay, he wants me to tell you, which I use this all the time, it's like he's on the other side of the wall. You can't see him, but he can hear you. He can see you. And he's sending you all these little signs trying to let you know that he knows. He can hear you. He's not giving a lot of validation, so I hope you're getting something out of this. And I don't spend my whole reading just validating things that he knows. I want messages from him. He says there's some kind of a party for a celebration coming up. Some kind of a party, a get-together that's coming up real quick. He's acknowledging that, and he's going to be there. And there's going to be the smell of smoke there. He says you cannot curl up in your blanket and cry anymore. It's time to celebrate me. It's time for you to learn that I'm there. And he showed me you sitting down with a not one of these, but a tablet thing. Spiral notebook, I think. Anyway, it doesn't really, may not be exact, and you were writing something, and then it was real quick, and then he went away. Usually they'll show writing for a longer period of time than that, but it was real quick. So I'll just give you what he shows me or tells me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's not your fault. I love you. Stop blaming yourself. I love you. Now he's showing me clouds. Have you seen a heart in the clouds? He's showing me a cloud-shaped heart-shaped cloud. If you haven't seen it yet, you might start looking up a little more often, because he wants you to look up and not down. He wants you to pick your head up. So glance at those clouds every so often. There's going to be a heart-shaped one if you haven't already seen it. I love you. You allowed me to be me. You didn't try to suffocate the me out of me, the me that wanted to get out of me. You did not try to suffocate me. You let me be my own little free bird. You let me take my chances. But I knew you were always there. Oh, and then he shows himself. falling hard on his face. He says, but I knew you'd still be there to pick me up. He says, I'm gonna leave you with these signs. So that you know that I'm close to you. Know that I'm okay. Know that I'm healthy, body and soul. Know that it did not hurt. Know that I knew you were there. And I'm fine with the funeral arrangements. Know that I'm always with you, here and beyond. Know that love never dies. Something about being chipper. He's getting ready to leave. As he leaves, he's dancing. He's dancing up a storm. He's blowing you kisses. And he has little hearts, but I see what looks like, it looks kind of like shooting stars, but it's coming up from the bottom. It's coming up, and he was leaving, he turned around, and coming up like it would be from the ground where he's standing is these little sparkly shooting stars. And it's almost like not a Roman candle, but maybe like even a sparkler. Not sparkler, fountain. But they're coming up like in a you might see this around the 4th of July, which is coming. But it's like a fountain, but it's going towards the side. So maybe there's going to be a fountain that falls over, or there may be one that's pointed to the side, kind of like that for some reason. But the trail behind the stars is all glittery like a sparkler, but it's not all over the place. It's in a straight line, pretty much, kind of a little bit spread out with the stars, with this trail. Now I'm trying to describe it exactly because I got a feeling there's going to be something coming. And the stars are sparkly and moving. And he's leaving. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. And thank you so much for being patient with me through all my little computer hiccups the last month. Much love to you. Thank you very much. Oh, and I hope you got a hug from heaven out of this. Thank you very much.